I love how they all kind of don't know what to do every time Biden kind of wanders off. It's like, are you going to get him? No, you get him. All right, but once Biden's Italian chaperone turned him in the right direction, well, he was ready to go. His meeting with his best pal, Zelensky, and promising to put Ukraine first.
Would we stand with Ukraine? Would we stand for sovereignty, freedom, and against tyranny? Yes, we will. We will say it again. Yes, again and again and again. We're going to stand with Ukraine.
Thank you, and thanks to every American heart that does not betray freedom and supports us.
Ukraine shakedown. While Biden is wasting time, energy, and resources on Ukraine, we're seeing real threats to our national security right here in our own hemisphere. A fleet of Russian warships right now are parked off the coast of Cuba. They're getting ready to hold military drills in the Caribbean. And China is building a mega port in Peru.
And this will only further make it easier for the Chinese to extract all of these resources from the region. So that should be concerning. Do you think about a port, the scanning of cargo? Who's going to have all that information? Who's going to have all that data?
Oh, this is just laughable. If it wasn't so scary, it would be laughable. Joining me now, Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House, Fox News political analyst. Newt, the New York Times published a piece today saying that America has become a humbler superpower under Biden, writing that America no longer presents itself as the confident guarantor of security, a trust us, we've got this superpower. The terrain is too vast, China's rise too great a threat. Newt, this as the G7 is underway, is it humility or failure?
Well, I think it's humility based on failure. Biden and his team are incompetent. They have no idea what they're doing. They were a disaster in Afghanistan. They have been a disaster in Iran. They have, I think, been remarkably slow and incompetent in helping Ukraine. They have no strategy for Latin America. And, you know, I think it's very sobering. If you remember, the immediate imagery of Soviet and now Russian warships in Havana brings back to mind the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. And you have to say to yourself, John F. Kennedy was at the peak of his ability in dealing with the missile crisis. Does anyone believe that Joe Biden could deal with a crisis like that with any kind of cognitive relevance, energy level, toughness, strategic advice? I think it's scary. This is not a political issue.
No.
This is an issue of survival. And of course, the New York Times, which is essentially anti-American, is delighted to have a weaker America.
Oh, yeah, they love
and
it.
refuses to report accurately about our enemies. And these are
Now,
our enemies. These are not, friends.
Now, there was a conversation brief about China's role, which we've talked about a lot here on the Angle, Newt, in helping Russia during this Ukraine war. Watch.
I had phone conversation with the leader of China by phone. He said that he will not sell any weapon to Russia. That is the first. We'll see with you. We'll see. But he said to me, if he is a respectable person, he will not, because he gave me the word.
By the way, China is not supplying weapons, but the ability to produce those weapons and the technology available to do it. So it is, in fact, helping Russia.
Well, of course, also, Newt, buying vast amounts of Russian oil and Russian agriculture, which is helping keep the Russian economy strong. The sanctions never worked either. But that was interesting to hear Zelensky say, well, if he's a respectable man about Xi, this is where we're sending hundreds of billions of dollars? Really?
Look, I think that Zelensky's in a hopeless position. He can't tell the truth. The truth will offend his primary patrons. Biden, it's hard to overstate this. Biden and his team are totally out of touch with reality. They don't understand the real world. They don't understand the concept of having real enemies. They don't have any concept of strategy. And they sort of go from press conference to press conference, making it up as they go along. They've had no positive impact on Gaza. They've had no positive impact on Iran. They were a total failure in Afghanistan. And frankly, the Ukrainian war could have been solved much, much earlier with an effective, aggressive American government. And they've just drained it out in ways that kill Ukrainians and spend a great deal of American money.
Yeah, another $50 billion shakedown today. Oh, sorry, it's a loan. Newt, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.